Hi, vintage bakers! Today I'm in the kitchen making easy, crusty bread bowls.
These easy bread bowls have a golden chewy outside with a soft and pillowy inside. Perfect for soup, chili, dips, or even a cheese fondue.
This easy recipe transformed basic ingredients into a golden, crunchy, crusty bread bowl. With minimal effort and a little time for rising, you'll have homemade bread that's soft on the inside with a delicious, chewy crust. It's a fun way to enjoy a hearty meal and impress guests with a delicious, edible bowl.
So let's get into the kitchen. This is how I make an easy homemade bread bowl.
To start this recipe, I'm going to make a simple bread dough. In the bowl of a stand mixer or in a large bowl if you're making this recipe by hand, add in 1½ cups of warm water and sprinkle on top 2¼ teaspoons or 1 packet of dry active yeast. Set this aside for a few minutes for the yeast to soften. Then I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of salt and 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Mix and then knead until you have a smooth, elastic dough ball. This should take 8 minutes if you're using a machine or 10 minutes if you're kneading the dough by hand. Cover and allow the dough to rise in a warm spot until doubled, which takes about 1 hour, depending on the temperature of your kitchen. Now that my dough has risen, I'm going to tip it out onto a lightly floured counter and split the dough into 4 or 6 equal pieces, depending on how large you want the bread bowls. Shape each of the sections into a circular loaf. I do this by flattening out the dough and then folding the sides over all around the circumference of the dough a few times. Then turn the ball over and smooth out the bottom by rolling and tightening it to the counter. Continue doing this same process until all of the dough is formed. This is going to add shape and structure to my bread bowls. Place the dough balls spread out onto a lined baking sheet and allow to rise for 30 minutes or until just about doubled again. Carefully slice an X on top of each loaf with a razor or a sharp knife. I'm going to add an egg wash to the top of my bread. To do this, I'm just going to crack 1 egg into a small bowl and whisk it with a little bit of water. I'm going to use a pastry brush and brush this all over the top of each loaf. This step is optional, but it will give each loaf a lovely, glossy, golden brown finish. Bake the loaves in a preheated 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius oven for 15 minutes. Then reduce the temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes, or until golden and sounds hollow when tapped. I'm going to remove these from the oven and allow them to cool before hollowing out into bowls. Once cool, I'm just going to cut off the very top of the bowl and use my fingertips to scoop out the soft inside. Make sure not to go too close to the edges of the little loaf and risk ripping a hole in the side or bottom of the bun. If you're using the little bowl for a dip, then make sure to keep the inside chunks of the bread for dipping. If not, save the bread for a variety of different uses, from stuffing, homemade croutons, or breadcrumbs to top a hearty casserole. These are the perfect restaurant-quality loaves with a variety of different uses. Some of my favorites are, of course, hearty soups, stews, gumbo, and chili. But they can also be a fun way to serve curry, cheese fondue, or hollow out and use to bake brie with a delicious topping for a festive appetizer. Brush the inside with garlic butter and serve filled with your favorite pasta. They're also a great way to serve with your favorite dips, or if you don't want to bother with hollowing them out, these small round bread loaves make the perfect pull-apart garlic cheese bread. Enjoy! If you're a fan of deliciously simple vintage recipes and old-fashioned skills, then you'll want to check out this next video. Thanks for stopping by.